Hey everyone, this is going to be a chit chat video, and I have here my coffee because I still have a cold, so we'll see how we get through it. Not to it. I just wanted to talk to you about a few changes, things I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to figure out the best way for me to share, you know, tutorials and that sort of thing, and I'm trying to see how I can give you more and make it work for me also with kind of less pressure, if that makes sense. So I'll tell you what's coming up. I started this year 2018 to post content also on Patreon, and I really enjoy that. And my initial plan was to do Patreon and then also do classes. And you know, the good thing about Patreon is that it's more or less a steady monthly income. Of course, you know, as a patron, you can always change your pledge. You know, you can pledge 1 month and then take a break or do whatever you want. So you totally have that flexibility. But for me, it's somewhat steady, as opposed to courses, which most of the, you know, revenue is such fancy words. You get most of the revenue when a new class is released, and then occasionally people buy the class later, but most of it is when it's launched. So since now this is my main source of income, well, only source of income, well, there are like other things like, you know, I don't know, ads on YouTube and affiliate links, but that's everything counts, every little bit counts, but that's still not the main bulk of my income right now. So I'm just thinking how I can do this. I'm still working things out. That's what I'm trying to say. And first of all, I want to thank you all for, you know, being here, for all my new subscribers. The channel keeps growing, which is amazing, and that's definitely one of my goals. I definitely want to keep putting consistent new content out there, and I have at least now 6 scrapbooking videos every month on top of my kit shares and also art journaling videos. So there's lots of stuff here for free. It will always be free, and that's great. That's definitely one of my goals. And what I'm going to do now for March, and probably also the next few months on Patreon, is to share content that will eventually become a class. So what I have in store for March, it's already filmed and just needs a little bit of tweaking, and then, you know, it will be up during the month of March on Patreon. I'm just telling you so you know, so that you don't miss out. If you're not interested, then just watch a different video. I have today also a process video for HipKit Club. It's a mixed media one, and it's really a fun one. So check that out instead. But if you do want to know more about courses and what I have going on, then keep listening. So what I'm going to do, I want to do an art journaling class. I've shared my recent Dina Wakley journal that I finished. I shared it on this channel, and this is currently mainly the style of art journaling that I'm doing. I'm loving it, and I think it's simpler than it seems, and I'm breaking it down to different sections, and that's what I want to do for my next class. So in March, I'm going to have one video showing backgrounds, and then I'm going to have a video showing you how to do tags, and basically show you how I create the different elements that then go into my art journal. And it's definitely one of those things that, you know, the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts, but the process is really fun, and this way of art journaling, I feel, gives me a lot of flexibility and a lot of playroom, and the results are, I don't think I've had a journal that I really, you know, enjoyed the process as much and was happy with the overall result. I mean, obviously some pages I love more than others, but in general, I was just so excited about this last, you know, super chunky journal that I showed you. So in the next months, I will be sharing how I create those layouts in my art journal, and I'm going to do that on Patreon, and eventually I will assemble all of that content and put it into a class on my online school in Teachable, where I have now my online courses. But this will give me the possibility to really you know, create the content in a more organic way and not just, you know, rush through it. I never rush through it to create a class, but I feel like, you know, a lot of the time, especially with such a creative process, it's, you know, some things need to marinate and some things need to simmer, and I don't feel like I can create an art class, an art journaling class, in just a couple of weeks. It takes time, and I think the classes are better for it. My watercolor book class and my sketching floral class, those took a long time to conceptualize and create the tutorials. There was a lot of stuff that didn't go into the class, but made the class better. So it just takes time, and I really want to focus on that. So I'm going to share that on Patreon in the next months. Now, also in March, I have, every month I do a real-time scrapbooking video, and that has been very popular on Patreon. People love to see the whole process. I really go through, I'm the type of person, I usually don't have a design in mind when I start scrapbooking, when I start to create a layout. Sorry. So you can really see how things happen during those real-time videos, and it just gives you a sense. It's so much more real than the process videos on YouTube. I mean, I show, I think, my entire process. There's very little that I don't film, so you do see everything, but it's sped up, you know, so you don't really get a sense of how it is in real time. And I think for a lot of people, you know, they feel frustrated because they watch the YouTube movie and in like 15 minutes or something, everything comes together and it looks great. And they think, well, I can't do that, or that's not how it works for me. But in those real-time videos, you can see all of the different things I'm thinking, trying out stuff. I really talk about, you know, why I do certain things and why this is not working for me and why that is working for me. And I think the one that is coming in March, it's actually my design team project for Pink and Paper, and it's featuring the Crate Paper Here and There collection. So it's a travel themed collection. And I think this one you can really see how it goes from nothing to a finished project and everything in between. So it's really interesting. It's a new thing for me also, because I've never filmed real-time scrapbooking until now for Patreon, and it's really enjoyable. I mean, it is a little bit weird talking to myself for like an hour, but yeah, it's fun to kind of verbalize all my thoughts as I'm creating. So that's coming in March to Patreon. And so you have real-time scrapbooking. We will do an art journaling background video and tags. And then depending, I do at least 4 videos every month. So I have to see how I divide the content across the board. What I can guarantee is that if you sign up for Patreon, eventually this will be cheaper for you than to take the course when it's finished and on Teachable. That I can guarantee. I will price the course so you so it'll be better value to go through Patreon. However, when you are in Patreon, you also get extra content. So I will be calculating this, but obviously, you know, like the real times videos and the printables and all that stuff that I offer just on Patreon will not be in the course. So I will calculate this, but I promise you that it's better value, because I want to have the, yeah, I want Patreon to be kind of something that I can rely on monthly income wise. So that's why I'm trying it this way. And another thing about Patreon, for me, I'm hoping long term, for me, Patreon is not the goal. Patreon is a means to an end. And I hope not to be on Patreon forever. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love it there. And, you know, I'm so grateful for all the people that follow me there. But I'm hoping that with time, as, you know, I just started doing classes on my own last year. So I'm really building my business, you can say. It's so weird to think about it, but I'm just at the beginning stages. My kid started daycare in September, and she only goes half day, so I really don't have, you know, I work part-time when, you know, no one is sick and everything is perfect, so I don't have as much time to put into this at the moment as I hope to have in a couple of years when the girls are a bit bigger, older and more independent. So Patreon is just a really great way to get some sort of fixed income monthly. But I'm hoping that it will be kind of like a 2, 3 years, and then you know, I can do more courses and more hopefully teaching and traveling. That's my long-term dream, because I need travel for my soul. And now the girls are small and it's just not realistic, but in the future, that's what I want. So yeah, and I want to meet all of you everywhere in the world. So fingers crossed. I tell myself that, you know, if I work hard, there is no reason to believe that I won't succeed. And I try to believe that every day. And you being here and supporting me is one of the big things that keeps me going, because, you know, if no one was watching, I could be like super motivated, but still. So that's just, I just want to tell you where I am. I just want to put it out there and be completely honest. And yeah, my voice is not, of course the battery ran out, but it gave me some time to take another sip of coffee. So that's basically what I wanted to say. Now, as for Patreon, as I said, I'm still figuring it out, and I'm still tweaking it to make it what I consider best value, what I would like to get, you know, for my back, and what I think is fair. And so the way it is now, there are 3 tiers, like 3 pledges that you can do. Of course, you can pledge as much as you want every month, but the main tiers that I offer are the have to remember the name. My mind is a blank. I remember the 2, but I don't remember the first. Oh, the first one is Lilliput, and it's $4 or more. And the way I'm going to do it from March is, for $4 you get access to exclusive feed showing you what I'm up to, early access to videos before they go on YouTube for everyone. And from March, I'm going to include 1 video in that, and I'm going to have that be the real-time scrapbooking video. And the reason is that my Patreon at the moment is very varied in content, and most of the people there love it. But I know that some of you are only interested in scrapbooking. So usually I have one scrapbooking video on Patreon, and the rest is memory planning, mixed media, art journaling stuff. So from March, I'm going to include the real-time scrapbooking video in the $4 tier. And so that's what you get in that tier. The $8 tier is called Printabellas, and that includes everything that you get for $4. So the exclusive feed, you know, updates, early access to videos, the real-time scrapbooking video, and the big thing, I mean, in my opinion, that's the big attraction in this tier, are the printables. So you get every month at least one, but in the last 2 months it was 2 sheets of printables. So that's like letter size or A4 size of printables, and those are my original art, and you can't find them anywhere else at the moment. I don't offer them for anywhere else, and if I will offer them, it will be for a higher price than on Patreon. And you get the printables, and you get a video showing you, at least one, showing you how to use them and to inspire you. And they make creating so easy. I have to tell you, I was surprised myself because I haven't done printables until I was on Patreon. You know, I do a lot of like art journaling and painting and all that stuff, but I've never done printables, and I'm so happy that I started making them because I love them and they're just fantastic for art journaling. So if you pledge $8 or more, you get the printables and the inspiration video for that. And then the final tier is $12 or more. It's called Aurora Fantastic. So Aurora is actually Ella's middle name. It's my favorite name in the world. You know, I know it from Princess Aurora, the Sleeping Beauty, which I know is like not, you know, the most feminist of stories, and I have to say I'm not a huge fan now of the whole princess culture, but I have loved that name all my life. And it's very, in Austria they can't pronounce it, they say Aurora. In Israel, I think people know it also from the fairy tale, but they would say it Aurora, and I think they could actually pronounce it. So I think we could have gone with it for first name, but we went with Ella because that is so easy to pronounce everywhere in the world for my Israeli family, for Adi's Austrian family, my husband's Austrian family. And, you know, if she decides to travel and go to Starbucks and, you know, order coffee, she won't have to make up that her name is Rachel or Monica like I had to, because nobody can say her name. So that's why we went with Ella. So anyway, back to Patreon. $12 or more, that's the Aurora Fantastic tier, and you get everything that I mentioned before. So exclusive feed, early access, real-time scrapbooking video, printables, inspiration video using the printables, and then at least 3 more videos, and those depend on what I'm doing at the time. But for March it's going to be art journaling, and it will eventually be a class. So that's it. I just wanted to tell you what was going on so that you know, so that you can't say you didn't know. And I think my voice is dying now. So thank you so much for joining me, for being here. You know, I really appreciate everything. I love reading your comments, and you can chat with me more over in Tanya and my Facebook group called Craft Bunker of Ignorance, and we are very ignorant there, and we love it like that, and ignorance is bliss, what can I say? So you can head on over there and chat with me. You can leave me a comment here, and I'm happy to chat with you. I'm happy to connect with you. Please share, subscribe, do all those things. I don't enjoy saying that, but it does help me a lot, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I try to do the same for my fellow YouTubers. And that's it. I wish you a wonderful day. We are having a Siberian weather front here. So right now it's sunny outside, but it's minus 10 degrees Celsius. And it's going to get colder. And it's going to be like this the whole week. So I'm so over winter. And yeah, good that the house is heated and I don't have to worry about freezing. Thanks for watching. Bye.